All right, beautiful way I found out to unwrap UVs. That's not just like individually cutting and blah, 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 all this stuff. Well, you still have to cut, but like it does it. It's very easy. So you can see all the individual UV shells have already been like selected on my character, and it's pretty. It's like the front and back of the legs and everything. It's very easy. Um, so and you don't obviously have to have it cut up so much, but since my character is like a dog, I'm gonna have different uh like colors, so you don't have to have it cut up this much. I just wanted it cut up this much. So this is what my UV editor looks like, all laid out. It's kind of sporadic and random, but at least it's cut out. And so like, oh, you can see like this is where his face is, and hands are kind of funky looking, but you know what, it's fine. Just like the basics so we can get points for everything we need for the UVs. So let me hold on. So this is just a little bit of older file I accidentally just saved over. So yours will probably look something like this. Probably. All the edges are sewn together, except for if you have like holes for the eyeballs. Um, I don't think you're supposed to have holes for the eyeballs, but yeah. So it'll probably look something like that. And I just made sure that everything that's not a part of like the main, like literally connected to him, is all hidden. So like I have these little claws hidden in these pants and literally everything else that we're not doing right now, we gotta hide. So I just shift select everything other than that main piece and hide it all. Um, yeah, and especially if you have like body tight clothing, because this is technically his model of his chest, but it's just gonna be his body tight clothing. Make sure to separate that or have some separation between the arms and the thing so you can tell it's a shirt. Anyways, um, so in your UV UV editor, um, it probably looks something like this, which is pretty standard. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go edit, delete, and it'll delete all the UVs for the character. I did not know you could do that. So it'll delete everything. So it just won't have UVs at this point. It'll just be empty. And then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to take like kind of like a straight on thing in the perspective, or you can even go to the front view. I would go to the front view. So if you have the front view open and go to create and then do camera based. And it'll basically just take all the UVs it sees in here, like in the viewport, and put them in here. So those are like really basic UVs, right? So I'm gonna go back to perspective. And then from there, it's actually pretty simple. I'm just gonna, my X-ray is on. Turn off X-ray, go in non-smooth shaded mode, and just select. And if everything is four-sided shapes, it should just select all the way around. Obviously I have some issues down at the tail at the end, but I fixed that in my new file. So what you're gonna do is select all the way around and make sure for the throat sock, you have to like let's see if I can do it. Go inside and make sure you select. So if say we're going for this middle line, you select the the middle line inside of the throat sock. So I think it's right here. So if this is the middle line, you make sure you select all the way around. So then it selects all the way back, which is kind of tricky. But also if you have non-symmetrical characters, make sure um, you kind of select like around. So like I put this little piece of hair on this side because it's going to be the same color as the head. So I'm just going to keep it easy. Um, boop, boop, boop. And then make sure on the inside it is selected. So I'm just going to scoot up really close and make sure that main line is selected. Um, and then over here under cut and sew, you'll see cut. Then you'll see a cut. It'll become a thick white line saying that's a separate UV shell. So you can go to UV shell, and well, it didn't cut all the way through, unlike my other character, because of issues down here. So you'd have to go through and fix this, but for now, I'm just gonna just gonna select it, and obviously that's something like you should have really perfect, not perfect. If your geometry is good and doesn't have triangles or any issues, it won't do that. Um, and so then it's like, oh, if this is like a sleeve, I'm gonna select around the sleeve, just make sure it's all selected. And if your character symmetrical, just turn on the symmetry up here. You can either do world X, or if it's facing the front, you do world X, which is everything in the scene, or you can do object X. I just do world X because I don't have anything else in the scene. And then you just cut. I'm gonna do one across the top so I can have like this piece be separate, because the back and the front I think are gonna be different colors. It's also just going to be easier to see. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut the wrist, so separate it from everything else. I'm just going to go through and look at it and then cut it. And since it's symmetry's on it, I'll just do it to the other side. And then I have like this thing around his waist, so what I'm going to come in, I'm going to select the furthest line in. So like this is an outer edge. And make sure you also look at it in smooth shaded to make sure it's all right. Um, so like this looks like a further edge in, but smooth shaded, I know it's this one. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut the legs, so oops, select all the way around, and actually I'm going to select this one. I like this one more. So I'm just going to make sure it goes all the way around. Yep. And then I'm going to cut it. You're going to cut down the side of everything. You're going to cut it. Right, so we have like this middle part, so we got to cut the tail off. All this front part, oh no, this is all connected. So that means somewhere we're not separated all the way. So you can see like something like, I don't know why these lines down here are cut. You're just going to go through and go like this, select all those edges wherever, and just sew them. You're also going to want to cut in the middle, so maybe like right there, right? Cut it. I'm going to go through the toes and just kind of cut them apart. Just so I can have a little bit of a different color on them. Maybe not that line, but this one. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to cut this little part of his leg, because it's not actually part of his leg, it's like bandages. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut this, right? And I'm going to come back here, and I think I'm going to cut right here across, because that's where his tail sits, and then maybe not this line even. Maybe just this, boop, boop, and cut it. Right, so we should have some better UV shells. So this one, it's selecting the entire thing just probably because inside the throat sock I didn't select everything. So let's go and see. Really just gotta like shove the camera in there. So yeah, so those two lines right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna select that. Cut this, take this one, sew it. Maybe that'll work now. Nope. Oh, it's on the forehead. Okay. I'm just gonna take edge, and you can even go to X-ray, so you can kind of see to make sure it connects all the way. Cut it. UV shell. Oh, I gotta cut it off. Oh yeah, make sure you cut off the neck. So edge all the way around the back of the neck. Cut it, right? Then you have you'll have the head cut off, which I don't know why this isn't cutting in half. It worked on my other one, but we know that's how Maya works, so whatever. And then I also chose to do like this half of the face, so I just took whatever line ran all the way down. So this one ran around the face. I'm gonna take this one. Actually, I'm gonna take this line down here. So then it kind of comes to the middle. And I'm just gonna make sure like this connects on the inside. I'm gonna cut it. Yeah. UV shell. So you can see like this is cut in the front. This is the back. It kind of looks kind of jank. And then I'll fix that. um, and then basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna select the UV shell in here. So, or you can select in here. It doesn't matter. So you can select it and you just come over here to unfold. And then you just click unfold. And it unfolds all of it into what you need. Maybe don't select them at the same time because for some reason, what? Oh, they're not separated from each other. Okay, well, pretend they're separated from each other. But it'll select them both, and then if you can literally just select all of the UV shells in here and click unfold. And obviously everything has to be cut up properly. So that's everything selected. And then, just pretend these are over here. You select all this, you click go to arrange and layout, and you click layout. And there you go. That's everything. Just make sure you have either you have like a texture laid down in the back, like the one that Miss Grantham gave us with all the UDUM things. It has like the 1, the 2, the 3, all that stuff. You put it in here so you can reference it, and like where it is on the character. But what I would do, you image UV snapshot this, keep Maya open, and then you can just honestly go like back and forth, and you're like, oh, oops, this is the top of the chest. Okay, then you paint whatever you want here, and this is the bottom of the chest, and you paint whatever you want. That's what I'm gonna do. But I would probably go in and put that's the image that Miss Grantham gave us. Yeah, that's the easy way I thought of it. So yeah.